Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Lavella, and we are continuing our adventure through Whispering Winds, which is our forever Minecraft world. Um, I've been a little bit busy, as you can see. Been digging and a digging and a digging. Um, so before I forget, I always say before I forget because I'm always afraid I forget. We will scroll through this a little bit. This one we're going to do kind of quick because there's not a whole lot different from the last time. And I say this all the time, just in case you're new and this is your first video on my channel, I do this for transparency's sake. Um, if I choose to go into creative or peaceful or whatever, I will just tell you. I I don't think that there's a I can do what I want. It's my world. Just like you can do what you want with your world. But it's the transparency is the key for me. It's you don't tell viewers that you're doing everything in survival and then switch out and then try to pretend. So anyway, that's why I do this. So 22,768. What is that? Times used. Yeah, I've used a copper shovel 22,000 times. Yeah, I've been a little busy. I've used diamond pick 4,000 times. Um, Some of these numbers are going to be pretty big because I do a lot of digging. That's one of my favorite things to do in Minecraft. Let's see. Oh, here's a big fat number. Stone. I bet that's times mined. Let's look. Yeah. So we're up to 99,000 stone mined, and we've used 54, or we've used a stone shovel 54,000 times. Yeah, these are some pretty big numbers. Oh, good lord. What is that? Cobblestone? 113. What is that? Oh, I've picked up 113 cobblestone. Now that makes sense. Um, 13,000 sand. Picked up 17,000. I'm not sure how that works. Oh, well, there's 224 for something. I don't know. Anyway, so pretty big numbers when it comes to digging up rock and using tools. So, as you can see, I am telling you the truth when I say I am doing this all in survival. 21,000 grass blocks. What is that? Times mined, yeah. Okay, let's get back down. I wish they had a thing where the where it was like at the bottom and the top where you could see what the column was. Dirt. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, this lets you know this is all above board. I'm not trying to be sneaky about anything. I don't think I've really killed anything since I've been here on the Mushroom Island. But anyway, uh, we found a Mushroom Island. I used chunk base, plugged in my seed to find the coordinates for a Mushroom Island. The first one I found, as I've said before, was surrounded by an ice biome, which to me kind of defeats the. For me, it ruins the whole atmosphere of being on a mushroom island because to me that's a tropical, warm environment, and I don't want to be surrounded by ice. So I found another one, and this one is actually bigger. Let's see. I want some axes, and we'll grab one more pick. And let's make some shovels. We don't need very many for what we're about to do. Of course, it's going to start raining the second I start recording. We still don't have very much iron, even with all this digging. because there hasn't been very much. Once there is, I want to set up a smelter. Can I sleep? I want to set up a smelter uh, so I can start erg, so I can start smelting cobble into regular stone again. I wish I'd have paid attention to the sun. Oh well. Well, it's just gonna look like garbage. Sorry. Um, First of all, at the time of this recording, it is November 8th, and if you are familiar with Hermitcraft, which is a multiplayer server for Minecraft, and it is populated by YouTubers. I think they have 25, 26, I can't remember how many. They call them hermits. Um, they started their season 11, and their episodes are coming out today. So if you're watching me right now, and you really shouldn't be, you should be. Not trying to tell you what to do, but you should probably be watching the Hermitcraft videos. I'll be here. You can come back and watch me later. Because I guarantee you the Hermitcraft videos are going to be a lot more entertaining. We're going to do some grindy grind. I remember where my... Alright. We're going to get rid of these mushroom trees. I don't know what the proper term is. I prefer to do this when I have silk touch. But I've done some fishing. I think I've done fishing on here. Maybe not. I prefer to do this when I have silk touch because I like the blocks. I'm not a fan of the actual mushroom trees, but I do like the blocks. I think the blocks are cool looking. So I prefer that. But I don't have silk touch, so we're not going to wait for that. We're just going to do what we're going to do. I still have a diamond pick, but I burned through. I don't know how many I brought with me. I can't remember. I brought some diamond picks with me from our spawn base, but I was burning through it so fast. I was like, oh, okay. I was burning through it so fast that I put it up just in case I needed it for something. And yes, I could put the dirt in my offhand to make this a little faster. But the problem is when you're working with a shovel and you have dirt in your offhand, it tends to turn it into path blocks, and it just annoys me. So I just switch back and forth. Otherwise, I would be doing that. Okay. Maybe I ought to grab the extra mushrooms too. We are probably going to need it, it looks like. Okay, let's get this one. We're going to chop these down, and then we'll see how much time we have left. If you were here last time, pretty sure I went over the plan. The idea that I have, and I still have it, is that I want to flatten this whole thing out, which typically you don't want to just flatten your entire build area because you need some different elevations and stuff to give it some depth and some interest and make it not boring. But at the same time, I like to flatten everything out because I like a clean palette. I can build it up and add the variations and the different elevations and stuff in later. But for now, I want to get everything flat and green, and then we'll go from there. And the plan is, I'm going to have to find a desert and destroy an entire desert. I want to cover this entire mushroom island with a glass dome. as if it's some kind of uh, like a shield to protect um, from the atmosphere. The lore that I'm going for is inspired by Impulse SV, which is one of the hermits, and season 10 of Hermitcraft, he did a cyberpunk city, and the story was that AI had gotten out of control and basically shut down the city, and the people had to escape to survive, and they moved into an underground system. I think he called it what he didn't call it a bunker. What did he call it? It's basically along the same lines as Fallout, like a Fallout shelter. Anyway, he got the city built. He managed to build the city, and he did that. He probably didn't get as much done as he was hoping, but he got most of it because his plan was it was mostly for mini games and stuff, which he did an excellent job. Anyway, um, he didn't have time to get his shelter uh, underground city built, and he has mentioned that at this time, that is his plan for this new season, season 11. He wants to do that. Well, some may say I'm copying him, and if that's the terminology you want to use, I'm okay with that. I have no intention of copying him block for block, but at the same time, I definitely did take inspiration from his idea, but I also play Fallout 4 and have seen the movie Fallout, and I've seen other movies, and I've played other games that are survival based, and some of them are based on post-apocalyptic scenarios. So yes, him talking about that inspired me, and so if you want to say I'm copying him, okay, but at the same time, I'm not trying to copy him block for block, and this is not the first time I have thought about doing an underground. I've tried to do underground bases before, and I know it's pixels, but I can only spend so much time underground until I start feeling claustrophobic. Even though it's a game, it's like, oh my gosh, I've got to get outside. I need sunshine. I need sky. I need the rain. I need, So I can only do the underground thing for so long before my brain starts twitching and I need to get out. So I've tried to do bases like that before, and I just couldn't stick with it. Well, this time, hopefully I'll stick with it. This time, I don't really want it. I guess you could call it a base. I want it to be an underground city. I want it to be a civilization, like what he said. Of course, I don't have a backstory like he does. I don't have a city that was great and then, was overtaken or whatever. And he said on his that he wants to see, and of course this is all lore, but he wants to see these people, they lost their city because their AI became too powerful, and he wants to see how they develop the new area and see if they've learned any lessons, if they're going to change their technology development or anything like that. And I saw something like, I think it was Star Trek. There's been multiple like sci-fi shows that have shown it's like, it's Star Trek or something, and the people who are visiting have space travel capabilities. Let's do, yeah. They have space travel capabilities, and they find these civilizations that are very basic, that have almost no technology. And the storyline usually is that the reason they have done that is because of what Impulse said about his story. Is usually they'll have it. The storyline is that at one time they had space travel technology and they had this and that and the other that was extremely advanced, but it did something that harmed their society. And so they abolished it and went back to basics. And like the young people, the young generation, don't have any remembrance of it because it's been, so long ago. So anyway, yeah, it was him talking about it that triggered my brain. Like, I really should try that again. I should try that again. It's something I've wanted to do so many times, and in my brain, I see like a central area that looks like a park, like a huge park where people would come and meet and have picnics, and kids would play on a playground and that kind of thing, and then basically just a city. I don't know why I keep trying to explain it, but a city where you would have a business district with shops, and you would have a residential district with houses, and you'd have schools and hospitals and law enforcement, and so that's what I want to do. And it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but this is our forever world. So we have time. We have all the time we need. It doesn't have to be done tomorrow or next week, and I don't have to worry about season 11 or season 10 or season whatever because this is forever. So I have time. I can do it however I want. It's my world. And you may have noticed I keep calling this a mushroom biome because that's what it is. It's a mushroom biome. The cows with the little red mushrooms on their back, those are mushrooms. That's the name of the cow, is mushroom. The biome, however, is mushroom. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is look it up, and you can see a mushroom cow is spelled with two O's, moo, shroom, and the biome is with a U, mushroom. And I know I am probably the only person that plays Minecraft that cares one way or the other, but it's a pet peeve. One thing that I love Impulse to bits. Love him to bits. I think he's awesome. He's a great person. Um, he just, I just get really good, wholesome vibes from him. Love him to pieces. But he calls an iron golem a golem, and it makes me crazy. Because Gollum is from Lord of the Rings. It's not. Uh, it's not in Minecraft. We don't have Gollum in Minecraft. But that's what he calls him, and it makes me crazy. Ah! I missed my block. I'm hoping we can get all of these. Not for the whole biome. That would take a minute. I'm hoping we can get at least the ones that are dangling. I'd like to get these out before we run out of time today. And then we may do some digging. I don't know. I don't want to give up on our spawn area. We still haven't gone caving. All the stuff that I have, like resources, like rock and ores and things, I got that from uh, tunnels and just digging out the storage room and digging out this area. Still haven't done any caving. But yeah, if you've never heard of Hermitcraft, I highly recommend it, and it is family friendly. Once in a very great while, somebody will slip up and use an adult word, but when that happens, it gets bleeped out because it's kind of an agreement among all the hermits that they keep all of their stuff clean. So every once in a while, somebody will say something and people will chuckle, and you're like, that sounds like adult humor, but it's never anything like inappropriate. So yeah, I highly recommend it. They are exceptionally talented, um, highly entertaining, and I'm going to do a few episodes. I'm going to record a few episodes. Um, I've been neglecting my channel. I've been dealing with real life. And after I do a few channels today, or a few episodes today, then I am going to binge watch the new Hermitcraft season myself and probably do some digging. But it's been a while. And if people are aware of Hermitcraft, my videos today are not going to get any views. But I'm okay with that. Y'all need to watch the Hermitcraft. Come back, watch me tomorrow or next week or whatever. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. I'm not trying to pay bills with my channel. I'm not trying to feed kids. I'm not trying to, you know, they're going to be a lot more entertaining, especially at the beginning of the season. That's my favorite part. But one thing that I really like about what they've been doing is uh, there was a time when, I mean, you had all these hermits on there, but it was almost like watching 20 different Let's Plays at the same time because they were so far apart in the world, and whenever they got together and did a collaborative episode, it was pretty rare. But this last season, in season 10, they made a huge effort to spend more time together and do more streams and stuff where they're just hanging out talking. And oh my gosh, I love that so much. So much. And some of them didn't get a whole lot accomplished because they spent all their time chit chatting and hanging out. But you know what? It was awesome. I'm glad they did it. Now, the way they're talking, Imp and Skiz podcast, Skizzleman is Impulse's best friend. They've been best friends for, oh gosh, is it 30 years now? They met in high school, went to college together. They've, you know, been best friends for years. Their kids have grown up together, and anyway, they also have a podcast, and it's called Imp and Skiz podcast. And then they have another YouTube channel they do together called Imp and Skiz. And if you're familiar with the Naked and Afraid, I can't remember what channel that's on. Anyway, there's a series called Naked and Afraid where basically people go out into the wild and they have to survive with pretty basic, very basic tools in a harsh environment. Well, they did a Minecraft spin on it, and what they do is they have 21 game days to accomplish a particular goal. And anyway, that's on the Imp and Skiz channel. And oh my gosh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Skiz is one of the, I can't remember what season it was, but Skiz is standing. He's literally standing in a sweet berry bush, and he keeps taking damage. And he's like, "I think there's something. I think there's a trident shooting me." With no drown, no trident. But he was just standing there taking damage, and he couldn't figure out why. He thought he was getting shot with a trident, and it's because he was standing in the berry bush. But anyway, they're pretty funny. I love I love them to death. I love Impulse by himself. I love Skiz by himself. But when they are together, oh my lord, it's magic. Why did I come back down? I don't know where I thought I was going. We still have some floaties. Let's go ahead and get rid of these floaties. But yeah, I'm gonna do an episode here, and I might do. Well, I don't know if I'll do a Dinkum. I kind of want to wait on Dinkum and do some streaming. I did quite a bit on Dinkum um, off camera, so I think I kind of want to wait on Dinkum. But at the same time, I don't want to wait too long because apparently they have done an update. So I want to get that going again and check out the update. I also want to do Stardew Valley. I was watching someone else play Stardew Valley, and she had crops that I don't remember existing. So Stardew Valley has obviously had some kind of an update. So I want to check that out. And then I did a series called Corner Kitchen, I think is what it was called. It was weird because uh, when you look at the game, it says Corner Kitchen. And when you look at it listed in your Steam library, it's called Fast Food something. But there's a different sim that's called a fast food thing. So I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it. OBS calls it one thing, Steam calls it one thing. In the game, it looks like the name is such as that, but whatever. So I'm pretty sure I called it Corner Kitchen Fast Food Simulator or something like that. Anyway, when I did that series, I took it as far as I could with the content they provided. And I told my viewers, I said, okay, well, I really hope they do something with this game because I really like this game and I'd like to see them, you know, don't forget it. Just, keep working on it, building it up. And I said, well, I won't be back until they give me some more content because we had expanded the kitchen as far as we could. We had all the items on the menu that were available. We had hired every possible employee there was. I think I'm this way. Nope, I'm this way. And I was like, yeah, so I won't be doing any more on this until they update it. Well, quite a bit of time went by, and I was looking at what I had going, and I was like, okay, well, they haven't updated this in forever, so I'm just going to go ahead and uninstall it. And it was like 1 or 2 days after I uninstalled it and the game that I had played for my series. After I got it all uninstalled, it was like a day or two later they did an update. So I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. I finally decide to throw in the towel and give up, and they're like, oh, just kidding. Here's an update for you. You can install that again. Thanks. So, yeah. But before I go back and do that one, see, I really need to get better, be more consistent with my channel because I have so many series going, and I just don't have time. I have time. It's not that I don't have time. It's that I haven't taken the time. But I started a different sim that is basically Supermarket Simulator came out first, and since then, a lot of several developers were like, that's a good game. How can we do that different? Make it our own, you know. And one of those is called I don't even remember the name of it. How sad is that? I even have a series on it. Anyway, it's basically Supermarket Simulator, except um, you grow your crops and you craft your ketchup and your mayonnaise and all that kind of stuff, and it's pretty cool. I really like it. I still love Supermarket Simulator. Don't get me wrong, but I really like this other one too. And I've only done one episode on that one, so I need to get on that. I've just it's weird because I feel like I've had a lot going on, but I can't really say, oh, well, this has been, it's because of this or it's because of that. Sometimes I just lose track of time, to be honest. Sometimes I really don't feel like I have a good reason for not being productive. It's just a matter of I just lose track of time. I know I'm not the only person that does that. It's a human thing, and we're all humans. But yeah, I need to be more. I think I'm going to start therapy soon, to be honest. And because I need to get my brain fixed. I was diagnosed as bipolar, God, 30, 40, 40 years ago. And I was on medication for it, and it made me so much better. Oh my gosh. I don't know how you feel about religion, but you see on TV these born again Christians or whatever. And yes, I'm technically a Christian. I don't necessarily live the lifestyle I should probably. But anyway, I have those beliefs. But anyway, a lot of times, you'll see on TV they kind of play it up and they're like, oh, I could see the light and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's how I felt when they put me on medication because my whole life I had felt a certain way. I thought it was normal. I didn't know I had a chemical imbalance. I thought everybody felt like that. And no, they don't. It was me not being balanced. So anyway, I was in the hospital for a while, and they finally got me on the right medication, and it changed everything. Changed everything. I think I'm going to keep these on me for now. Let's go ahead and fill this one up just so we have it at the ready. But anyway, as a lot of people do that are bipolar or on antibiotics for something or whatever, you start feeling better and you think, oh, I feel better. I don't need this medicine anymore. Well, if you're on an antibiotic, the doctor tells you to take it for 10 days for a reason. Because you're supposed to, because it needs to build up in your system. And when you're on antidepressants and stuff, you're not supposed to take yourself off of them unless a doctor tells you it's time. Well, so what I was doing is I was taking my meds like a good girl, and then I started feeling better, and I was like, yeah, I'm cured. We're good. I don't have to take them anymore. And I found out that wasn't the case. So I got back on them, and then they just, even with my insurance, I had Blue Cross and Blue Shield at that time, and even with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, it was just extremely expensive. I mean, it was hundreds of dollars for one, and I was on two. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if I'm still bipolar. I don't know if that changes or whatever, but I've been having a lot of memory lapses, and I got on my CPAP, so the foggy brain zombie thinking thing is not such a big deal. But yeah, I'm struggling with memory and regurgitating stuff that was 50 years ago. Why am I still thinking about it? So anyway, I need to get my brain fixed, and hopefully when they do that, then I'll be able to be a little more consistent with accomplishing goals. You know, even if it's a little, even if it's just a goal of cleaning the bathroom, or just a goal of going for a walk, or it doesn't have to be a life-changing, world-changing, world peace, feed all the people that are hungry kind of a goal. It can be a simple goal like go for a walk. Anyway, that's my hope. I'm going to start therapy and see if they can fix me. if if that's a possibility. I don't know if I'm fixable. Y'all may just have to put up with me as is. Don't know what to tell you. Anyway, enough of the rambling. Thank you so very much for taking the time to watch my video. I do appreciate it. Go watch Hermitcraft. If you don't watch it now, just YouTube search it, Hermitcraft. You'll get flooded. There's all kinds of stuff. You don't have to start at season 1. I know, this is a season 11, and there's 20 some hermits. Just pick somebody, watch them, and then go pick somebody else and watch them. You'll get pulled in. You'll love it. It's awesome. Thank you again, and we will see you later.